Hello, I'm Scott, and today I wanted to share with you a modification I made to my Traeger Pro 575 grill. Just some background on the grill. I've had the grill for about 2 weeks. I got a little buzzed, went to Home Depot after having a few beers and got excited about the Traeger. Reason being, my old smoker, which was a stand-up smoker, the element went bad and it started tripping the GFI outlet pretty frequently. So I had a need for a new smoker in my life, and I've not fully explored wood pellet technology, and thought this looks like a great opportunity for me to try something new. So after taking just a few minutes to kind of browse through the units available right now at Home Depot, I landed on what I thought was a good sized unit, the Traeger 575, as far as cooking area inside of it and construction of the grill. It's really a great unit overall. Having cooked on it now for 2 weeks, I can tell you I'm in love with the technology. And shopping around for other grills, it's a quality grill. There are others out there at different price points, and if I had done it over, I may have chosen a different model, maybe an ironwood, or the next model up, I think it's the Timberline from the Traeger. Pit Boss looks great. Mountain grills, Green Mountain grills, I think is what it is. They look great. RecTech looks great. There's a lot of great pellet grills out there right now. But at this point, I was kind of invested in this one because I'd used up some American Express reward points to get a big old gift certificate. So this thing didn't cost me what it would cost you if you went and tried to buy one in the store. So having it in the minivan and bringing it home was a piece of cake. Just moved a couple seats up and threw it in the back and brought it right home. And I got it into my garage, and as I'm an IT guy, I was delighted about the idea of using Wi-Fi to control the grill and set the temperatures and such. So that's a story in and of itself, but a short summary of that is the Traeger is very, very finicky about what Wi-Fi networks it can connect to, and their tech support isn't very helpful immediately with resolving those issues. To share my story, as a typical Wi-Fi person, I've got ubiquity access points all over the house, both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks being broadcast under the same SSID, strong passwords. And those are all a huge no-no to the Traeger device, as I've come to find out. Also, the controls are not intuitive as far as getting a true factory default out of it, as well as getting it to factory reset, or even just the Wi-Fi to reset and quit trying to connect to the existing Wi-Fi. So lots of trial and error, and 4 hours later, and my wife very angry with me because I was dead set on getting this thing working. I had reduced a Wi-Fi network in my house down to 2.4 only, with a very weak password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with no uppercase letters in it. I think I called it Frylock after Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So Frylock exists solely for the purpose of the Traeger running in the driveway, so that it can connect to the Wi-Fi. But at that point I was successful. It did download some new firmware, so maybe there's some changes that took place between the first version of firmware I got and the current version of firmware that's in it that will allow it to talk to different or better networks. But that said, I'm past that now, and I think 10 out of 14 days we've had the Traeger fired up. I've probably already been through 40 or 50 pounds of pellets. We do Traeger bacon. Today I did cornbread in a skillet on the Traeger. I've done pork butts already, pork ribs, chicken breasts, and it truly is a unique and fun to use outdoor oven in the end. I use the oven inside all the time and have a gas oven, and I've got a barbecue grill in the back that's a Weber, and there's a charcoal grill within 20 feet of me. So I've had my experiences with all different kinds of outdoor cooking, and just found this one truly to be the most unique and fun because it's so simple and there's so little headache. A true advantage of the Traeger is the wood pellets. They leave almost no mess. I mean, using a shop vac to clean it out when it requests it is wonderful. I mean, how many times have you had to drive up to the grocery store with a propane tank in the back of your trunk only to go up to the service counter, and maybe you got a kid in the car and you're trying to swap a propane tank, and then you're parked in the fire lane and everyone's angry at you while you're trying to hustle to get this heavy to carry propane tank. Well, those days are over. That's a great thing. They're just gone. We don't do that anymore. You know, now we just go grab a bag of pellets and throw them into the hopper. So anywho, the point of this video was to tell you more about a modification I made to it just today after being really frustrated with the weight of the thing, and I moved mine in and out of my garage quite a bit, just to share with you. That's the true home to the Traeger right there. She sits on a slanted driveway, and I'm constantly picking it up and moving it around. I've got this little concrete lip to get over down here, and you can see the tools are out, and I'm making this video as I celebrate the success of my modification. The issue was there's no wheels available for the front end of this thing, right? So it's heavy enough that you're going to kill your ankle sometime. I know I would. After a few beers, I'd probably drag the bottom end over my toe and literally go to the emergency room. And the only way to get wheels on a Traeger is to step up to the one that's $11.99, like the 650. I think the Ironwood 650. So I looked all over town, and right now with COVID and the limited amount of units that are available, there was no immediate ability to go get a different unit. And of course, as soon as you put any kind of casters on it, well, then the grill is going to be offset because now one side's much higher than the other. So after just looking all over the internet and not seeing anything out there that I thought would help me out, I just wanted to post this video real quick to share with you a quick, I feel, success story for me. It may not be for you. And here it is. I'm going to flip the video over to the Traeger for a second. Actually, I can't while I'm doing this. So anywho, as you look at the Traeger for a second, you can see simply what I've done. It's not sitting exactly flush right now, so get it out of the dirt on one side here and onto the playing field here that's a little bit more level. But again, I'm wheeling around my Traeger like it's a, you know, dog on a leash or whatever. She's a beauty. Wheels are stuck in it. But I took a trip to my local Ace hardware store and I bought some casters. And the casters are, I think they're 1-inch casters that have stems on them that don't have threads, and those non-threaded stems are about 1 inch and some odd bit long. So anywho, there's holes in the legs of the Traeger already for these type of casters. Well, they may not tell you that. And I just put a little bit of WD-40 on them and slapped them in there with a hammer. And the modification that you need to make to get it to sit somewhat level, you know, we're not too far out of level right now. You can see I put the accessory tray on mine here. But the modification you make is you come to the back legs and you just simply drop them down. Where you had 2 bolts securing them into the top of the Traeger, we lengthened the leg by only having 1 bolt secured into here and the other one just being barely exposed. That was almost exactly the length that that caster needed to grow this edge to be level with that edge. So, you know, that said, maybe I've weakened the chassis, maybe I've created some thing that's going to get me a lawsuit from Traeger if I post this video. I'm not sure, but if there's anybody else there that struggled and been upset, I just wanted to share this with you and let you know it is very possible and it's not too hard to do. It took me, I think, a 1/2-inch socket and a hex wrench to take the leg off and move it down and just remove 2 of the bolts. And I literally just used a little tap hammer to tap those casters in there. And now we're dragging around a Pro 577 or 575. I think mine's the 577 now that I've raised it 2 inches.